They came from all over the United States, some from Canada, and one even as far away as Australia. Some were there for the first time. Others had hardly missed a Ludhiana Christian Medical College alumni reunion since the first one held in 1981. The reunion was organized by Drs. Elizabeth and Joy Paul, who lived minutes away from the resort. Thursday evening, after registration, Dr. Joy Paul greeted everyone and shared announcements about what to expect.
Everybody, thank you for coming. I have a few announcements.
Each morning breakfast was served out on the resort lawn. During each meal, laughter could be heard as attendees reminisced about experiences that they had shared in medical school. The first morning and afternoon was for relaxing and enjoying the resort. Some enjoyed sitting by the ocean. Others relaxed reading the newspaper. Some found their way to the golf course, the tennis course, the yoga mats. Noon brought everyone together for a delicious lunch under a shade tree. Lunch was sponsored by a company that makes a new device to monitor blood levels during surgery. The company representatives had an opportunity to show off their product. The new device stirred quite an interest, and many questions followed. Dr. Joy Paul volunteered to be monitored.
So what's his hemoglobin? Did it say?
The talent show after dinner Friday night got off to a beautiful start with a dance performance led and organized by Dr. Elizabeth Paul. The performers were her doctor and spouse friends from the area.
We have a few of our alumni performing for you, following which it will be our one and only Maya music.
The dance was followed by a full evening of talent presented by alumni members.
And Guy Constable said, "What's the name of that book?"
Your mind and ego are not really yours. Your thoughts and spirit are.
All quite well, and then one day, the Rotary Club of Atlanta approached me and said,
Though the snow hostel, the girls hostel is very near to the administrative block.
And finally, the group was entertained with the music of a well-known group called Maya, the music of India. It did not take long before their music drew people out to the dance floor. Once again, the buffet breakfast provided an opportunity for fellowship and conversation. The new CMC polo shirts, fresh from Ludhiana, were available for sale. A time for continuing education followed breakfast. Lectures were presented by specialists in their medical fields. The lectures drew a lot of interest, and there were more questions than there was time permitted. Attendees left the lectures having gained the newest and freshest information about a variety of topics that were presented. Friday lunch was sponsored by Aziz Ihani, a representative from the Morgan Stanley investment firm. After lunch, he shared information about estate planning and charitable giving. Probably the most animated time during the weekend came from the business meeting led by Alumni Association President Dr. Elizabeth Paul, as reports were given and plans for the future were made. Dr. Gita Chibber, who has served as treasurer so capably for so many years, gave her final treasurer's report. Officers for the coming year were elected, and newly elected President Dr. Arun Adlakka shared his vision for the organization. Proposed future reunions included a reunion on the high sea during a 3-day cruise and a reunion in Australia. However, there was common agreement that the reunion next year will be held in Cleveland, Ohio. Saturday night was a time for everyone to get dressed up for the formal gala. Those who wished to do so were given an opportunity to purchase cocktails in the hall outside the banquet room. Just before the night's program and dinner, a group picture was taken. The program began with a traditional oil lamp lighting ceremony. President Dr. Elizabeth Paul followed with a motivational speech about the wonderful contributions made by the Alumni Association, which during the year presented the medical college with a laparoscopic set for use by the OB-GYN department. Newly elected President Dr. Arun Adlakka shared his hopes and goals for the future. Dr. Paul read a letter from Dr. Abraham Thomas, director of the Christian Medical College. Dr. Subhas Singla, president of the CMC Alumni Association, who had traveled from India, greeted the group. Max Marble, executive director of the Ludhiana Christian Medical College U.S. Board, shared slides with updates from Ludhiana. The highlight of the evening was the presentation to Honorary Dr. Sarjit Gill from the batch of 1953, with a lifetime membership for his many accomplishments and for his faithful participation in the Alumni Association activities. After the program, dinner was served, and slides of last year's reunion in Kerala and Ludhiana were shown. When the internationally known musical group of Dipali Singh and Vishal Vij began entertaining, it did not take long for the dance floor to fill up. After breakfast Sunday morning, there was a memorial service remembering members of the alumni who had passed away since the last gathering. A candle was lit for each person as one of the members present who had known him or her shared their remembrances. All too soon, it was time to start saying goodbye. Alumni members and their families left with fresh memories to cherish and with a firm resolve to meet again next year in Cleveland.